My name's Andrew Jensen. I'm 25, and I was a part of SOS at 8th grade, so I guess that was 2004. So, yeah, and
my name's Callie Cash. I am 23, going on 24, and I was also a part of SOS about the same time, 2003, 2004, and I'm going to be graduating from NC State in May, and I'm really excited.
And I'm a gymnastics coach. Yeah, and you know, we were thinking about the impact it's made on our lives, looking back, and I think for me, it was just, we were a part of it when it just started, and then coming out here today and learning about where it's been and where it's going to go has really impacted me more today than any other time. Thinking about it, just knowing I was a part of something that is starting to be so big. So that's what it did for me.
Yeah, so learning now that the program's raised over $150,000, that's amazing. But at the time, I think it was just encouraging for me to know that I was part of something, and I knew I was working towards a goal. I was part of something bigger, but it helped me personally grow in confidence that I was capable of doing something like that and making a difference. And that has stuck with me throughout my whole education, you know, into high school and college, and being able to have a leadership position in a group or a club or anything like that is just, yeah, stuck with me even now, 10 years later.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, just from life in general, most things, trying to find out what makes people happy or what makes one happy, I think service. And knowing, you know, just I think at an early age doing service like that helped me to understand that it's the true happiness you find is when you're helping others. And at an early age like that, it was good for, I'm sure I can speak for her too, just to do things for other people and knowing it's for not for personal value or just personal gain, but just doing it out of the aspect of its service work, and it's helping others. It's a big deal too.
I'm Christina, and I was in the SOS Club pretty much all the way through middle school, and my participation in it impacted me for my entire life. The friends I made have stayed with me, especially one. She's even going to be in my wedding. And I even based my career choice off of my work in the SOS Club. It helped me find my passion for life, which is simply helping people. And whenever we did the big dance marathons and the fun days to raise money for troops, I learned that even a shy little, seemingly inexperienced middle schooler could even make a difference in the world and for the people around you, and that was a powerful message. And so now I'm working at a drug rehabilitation center, helping people every day get over addiction and facing their obstacles in life. And I would have never thought that I could be in that place if I hadn't started by helping children by just raising money at a dance marathon. And who would have known that you could do that through sliming people and throwing sprinkles on top of their heads and dumping pudding on them? But that's where it started, and I'm glad that I participated in it in the first place.
Some favorite memories for me, the one I remember most was the slime we used to do. We would, after school, some days we would get food and just completely get covered in food and like
Hershey syrup, pudding,
yeah,
unrecognizable. And
all kinds of food.
Helped bring attention to the group and helped everybody just have fun and let off steam, but brought awareness to what the club was all about, kind of.
Yeah, and when we do that, we'd film it. So in our school, we'd do these news things on the TV in the morning, so it would get broadcasted through all the schools, so everyone knew you had food fights after school. And it was pretty interesting for kids our age, because who doesn't like food fights at that age?
It'd be like a competition. Like I remember hanging up posters, like printed out pictures of different people who had been slimed and around the school. Can you recognize this person? So yeah, it was just like, it was I don't know, pretty cool. You have your picture hanging, but not really. Like, yeah.
That reminded me of when we used to do, we used to make videos, like short video clips. One was of Charlie's Angels, and I was the villain, and it was just ridiculous and hilarious videos that, looking back now, just has me like dying laughing earlier today. You know, it was a blast. And we'd share them for the school, and it would get kids interested in joining the club and doing service for others. So that's kind of what I remember most.
Yeah, and kind of bringing awareness to the dance-a-thon. I remember before it, like leading up to it, it was like daily little skits on the morning news so that people would know you have to come to this. It's going to be a big deal. And I don't know, I have a lot of memories from the dance-a-thon personally, but one of my favorites was at 3 a.m. I remember there was going to be the laser show, and I had never seen anything like that, and I was also at the same time involved in a hula hooping competition, and that was the first time I'd ever won anything in my life. But it was really cool to see all the lights going, and it was just a really big event. And obviously 10 years later, it feels like it was just yesterday, so it's pretty cool to think about.
Yeah, and I know we both can't ever forget, we went to Pennsylvania for a trip to see the dance-a-thon, just to see where it's taking place every year, and along the way we tubed and
snow tubing.
Yeah, and we saw Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Went to Hershey World, got to do some taste testing.
Yeah, I'll never forget
awesome.
the lights on the street were Hershey Kisses.
And all the street signs were brown, and it smelled like cocoa. They sprinkled cocoa powder on all the bushes. Do you remember that?
It was amazing. It was a great time.
It was the closest thing to being at like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory.
Yeah.
We saw the Amish.
Amish. We went into some cave. We explored a cave, didn't we? We went into some cave. I'm telling you, we walked.
Cool.
I can't remember it, but you know, just memories. We have not like endless memories of SOS.
And getting to see what it was all about. That's why we went to Penn State, to see what they have a dance marathon every year, and getting to know that what we were doing was a small branch off of that, and just that it impacted so many lives. We were part of something so much bigger.
Yeah, the opportunity we're grateful for that, to have the opportunity, and really it was always there. We just had to join the club.
Yeah.
So.
Good memories.